One of the most important moments in your life is when you finally have the courage to let go of what you cannot change. Hello, this is Keith again with Project Next Level, and my main focus is to help you step into your greatness. Today's video is about, it's a central theme. It's about basically focusing on what you can control. Because when you focus on things that you can't control, your energy is displaced and it's not where it needs to be, and you can prematurely drain yourself and rob yourself of much needed energy to deal with things that you can truly change in your life. Again, I would like to encourage you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can just hit the subscribe button below for more great content. I got many more things coming down the pipeline, but I really wanted to get this message out. I was running today, and when I was running, I come up with all kinds of epiphanies and things as far as what I want to talk to you all about, and it popped up into my head as far as focusing on what you can control. Before I start, I would like to read a quote that resonated with me, and I'll read it. Let me read the quote. The quote is from Michel de Montaigne. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I might be pronouncing his name wrong. Sounds French. But the quote is as follows. My life has been filled with terrible misfortune, most of which never happened. Now I want to read that one more time. My life has been filled with terrible misfortune, most of which never happened. With that quote, I want to pose a question to you all. What are you all focusing on that you don't even know if it will happen? Are you focusing on things that you have no control over, or are you focusing on things that barely moves the needle in your life? I used to be one of those people that used to focus on things that I had no control over, and it had adverse effects in my life and my relationships. And I will share with you all a story in general. I was dating a woman that I was very fond of at the time, and my own insecurities kept having these thoughts that would pop up in my mind as far as, I think that I don't know if I measure up to her. I don't know if she's good enough. I don't know if I'm good enough for her. And my insecurity basically plagued the relationship. And I started becoming more and more needy as we progressed into the relationship. And I tried to place more control because I was scared that she would leave me. And when I was saying that I would try to place more control over her, I would try to constantly know where she was. I would try to discourage her from hanging out with her friends. I would feel super insecure and super jealous when she would mention other men. And I would try to find fault in the other guys that she was mentioning. And maybe she might just give a compliment, but basically the focal point of the story is that I was super insecure. And ultimately what I did was I ended up running her right out of my life into the arms of another man. And why did that happen? Because I was busy focusing on something that I couldn't control. I couldn't control where she was. I couldn't control where she worked. I couldn't control who she was talking to. I couldn't control if she even found somebody else attractive. And that type of stuff, those thoughts was running rampant in my head because I was so insecure and so unsure about my place in the relationship. And what happened was that she eventually, my insecurity was showing so high it was showing so boldly, and the light was shining on my insecurities so brightly that she ultimately agreed with my actions. And she was like, wow, if he doesn't believe that he's good enough for me, then how am I supposed to believe it too? And so the relationship ended. And, you know, as I picked myself off the mat and as I got into the process of maturing and learning from my mistakes, I came to the situation is that I was busy focusing on external situations, things that I couldn't control, and it ended up biting me, and it ended up costing me a good relationship. But I tell you, there is a shining light to my story, because I had an epiphany, and the epiphany basically was that although I can't focus on external situations, because let's be real, we're living in a world with I think it's 8 billion people. There's going to be people who are more talented than you, who are more attractive to you, more attractive than you are, who are taller, who have brighter teeth, who have a bigger package who have a bigger toolbox package. I mean, there's going to be people that are just better, or just better than you. And rather than trying to focus on something that you can't control, you can embrace it. One tip that I want to offer to you all that's listening to this video is that it's unproductive to focus on things that you have no external control over, and that when you try to be omnipresent, meaning that you try to play God in your relationships and try to be everywhere, try to be the all-seeing person, you are doing yourself a great disservice, and you're just highlighting your own insecurities in yourself. Now, that's very, very important, because what you can do is, instead of focusing on external things, external situations, other people that you may be jealous of or whatever, only thing you can focus on is how you are showing up. You can focus on your attitude. You can focus on how you make that person feel. You can focus on the feelings that person has when they're in your presence. You can focus on the good of everything instead of trying to focus on the bad of someone else. And when you put the focus on yourself and how you're showing up in a relationship, it exudes confidence on yourself, and it shows the other person that, wow, this person has power, because they're not relinquishing it to someone else that they don't have any type of control over. You don't want to basically give necessary energy to something that you have no control over. Or why give this attention or give all this energy to try to control something that may not even want to be controlled? Because newsflash, you will find out that a person is going to do what they want to do regardless of your pestering, regardless of the oversight or the checks and balances that you may try to put in place to keep a person in bounds, or to make a person behave in a manner in which you think they should behave. A person is ultimately going to do what they want to do regardless. This sort of reminds me of it's a bit of a cliche, but the person that was sheltered, that didn't get a chance to experience things in life, and then all of a sudden when they go off to college, they're just exposed to a whole lot of different opportunities. And the moral of the story is to stop focusing on external circumstances. Stop trying to control someone else. The best thing that you can do for yourself is take your control back and focus on things that you can control, and you can focus on how you are showing up. And that will make a huge difference in your interactions with people who you care about, people in your professional circles, people who you are dating, etc. As we close the video out, I would like to just do another shameless plug. I have a chapter in my book, From His Heart to Yours, specifically dealing with this issue about focusing only on what you can control. And I highly recommend that you grab the book, because there's a whole ton of stories, and I'll be breaking down stories in subsequent videos and upcoming videos. Again, if you feel any of this information is of value, I encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also want you to go and check out my website. My website URL, I'll put a link down. The link is down in the description, because there is a lot of good information. I have blog articles, I have other YouTube videos that I would like for you to check out. And basically, I want you all to take this journey along with me as I help, because my main focus is to provide value for you, to help you improve your inner psychology and outer psychology. Subscribe to the channel, check out my book, and love you guys. Talk to you all later. Peace.